in Salt Lake City.
I am here in Salt Lake City. If you're in the area, come by Black Rifle Coffee, hang out, and you can see the studio that we use.
Yes, that would be pretty cool. Actually, you know what, Jared? You know the sad thing. Oh, and Zachary's here too. Turn your microphone on and say hello, Zachary.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Good.
All right.
Glad to hear it.
The shipping ogre's in the studio with me running the board. He's the board runner in addition to the shipping ogre. You know what I was going to say, Jared, is, you know what's kind of sad is your studio there at Black Rifle is more aesthetically pleasing than this one.
Yeah, because we set that one up for audio, and then this one I set up immediately for video, and they kind of already had this aesthetically pleasing office.
Yeah, it was designed to look nice for video. Ours was not designed to look nice for video.
Hey, I like our studio. We got the
it's a padded. I'm living in a padded room. I knew that someday I would end up in a padded room, and I did.
Dad, this office used to have 2 gold YouTube buttons in it. Remember?
Oh yeah. From
send them here.
Was that the just the Black Rifle channel?
No, the gentleman's name is Rich Ryan. I don't remember what he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think gold is 1 million subscribers.
What is the what was it? Drinking Bros?
Yeah,
that's the thing that Matt was doing with him.
Matt and Jared Taylor.
Matt and Jared were doing Drinking Bros. That's right. Do they still do that? Are they doing that down there in Texas?
I think so. You know, it's funny. We had that meeting the other day, and they were like, "Are they still doing that show?" So I looked up, and they had released one on earlier in August. So I think that they're still doing it regularly.
Yeah, 1 million. Gold is 1 million. And what is silver, Zach?
Probably 500.
No, it's 100K.
100. Okay.
Yeah, silver is 100,000 subscribers.
Silver is 100,000. Gold is 1 million, and diamond is 10 million.
What about ruby?
50 million.
50 million.
So PewDiePie is the only one that has that, I believe.
Stop saying that. That's every time you say that, it's gay.
No.
Don't
it's
say
Swedish,
that.
Actually. But yeah, no, he's the only one to ever get a ruby button.
Does he live in Sweden?
I think
or did he emigrate somewhere else?
He was in San Francisco, I think.
Oh, I was gonna say is he pooping on the sidewalks in San Francisco?
Isn't that San Diego?
No, that's San Francisco.
Oh,
actually, San Francisco just announced that they have hired 6 people whose full-time job it is to clean human waste off of the sidewalks of San Francisco. California, you've got to be proud.
That's a thing for real.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I saw that.
It's a real news story. It's out there. San Francisco has hired 6 people whose job is dedicated to cleaning human waste off of the sidewalks in San Francisco.
When I saw that, I thought it was Denver.
No, the Denver probably going to have to hire like a whole platoon of people to clean human waste. Yeah, you guys want to know? You want to know why we don't have like space colonies and stuff like that? Yes, when we don't have underwater cities and flying cars and space colonies, and
because it's very difficult and very impractical.
No, because the modern humans don't even know where to poop. When you have a society of people that haven't figured out how to dispose of their waste properly, you can't have flying cars when people have devolved back to pooping on the sidewalk. Okay, so all right, but we're not going to talk about pooping on the sidewalk today. We're going to talk about, we got a lot of stuff. Cyclist murderers. Evil is real. Whether or not you believe it, it's still real. I've got a little show note here that says Zachary wants to remind you guys about the Student of the Gun newsletter. Is that true, Zach? You want to remind them about that?
Yes, it is. Yeah, if you go to studentofthegun.com, if you're not signed up already, you can sign up for our weekly newsletter, which I personally assemble every week to keep you in the loop and informed about everything that we're doing here at Student of the Gun.
There you go.
It's really great.
And it doesn't cost you anything to go and sign up for the weekly newsletter.
And sometimes there'll be really special stuff in there just for people who are doing the newsletter.
There you go.
Keep that in mind.
It puts Easter eggs in it. Are we still talking about online Great Books open enrollment, Jared, or has that closed?
Do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
The newsletter, if you sign up for a newsletter, it also gives you access to the 7 training tips that could save your life course. If you don't have that yet, it's actually an online training course that Dad did. That's 7 training tips that could save your life. We talk a lot about the fundamentals in there, and I've had reviews from newbies. I've had reviews from people that call themselves experts, and across the board, everybody learns something, which is kind of cool because it really does focus on the fundamentals. And so what I took from those reviews is that no matter what level you are, you can still learn anything from or learn something from the fundamentals.
You get something from it. That's
yeah,
right.
even if you're just repeating it. As far as Online Great Books goes, I don't know if enrollment is still open because obviously we pre-record this for you guys. We are live right now. So if you're listening live, you can still go to onlinegreatbooks.com and use the code SOTG. And that does two things. A, get you a discount for your first 3 months. And B, it'll put you in the same group as Alex and I. We both joined this time around, and we're going to be going through the program. So obviously we want to surround ourselves with you guys. We opened up the offer to our grad program members first because I love you guys, but
For a reason.
I really love our grad program members. So,
well, it pays to be a member. It pays
literally.
to be a member.
You guys are
Literally.
friends. You guys are our friends, but the grad program are our family.
Okay, every Monday we do a SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. This is your opportunity to participate in Student of the Gun Radio. If you would like to hear your own voice on Student of the Gun Radio, run around the house screaming and brag to your friends that you are on, well, you can do that. But first, you need to call 844-207-7684 and leave a concise, well-rehearsed question. And if we believe that many people will benefit from your question, we'll play it on the air. You will be the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. You will get a complimentary bottle of 9mm plus P. Now, Jared, will you remind the person who's about to hear their own voice on our show what they need to do to claim their prize?
Sure thing. We didn't get a name with this one, so we're going to have to verify by phone number. If you just include your email info@studentofthegun.com and include your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email, and make sure the phone number is the same one that you called the line on, because that's how we're going to verify that it is you.
Yeah, no tricking now. But if you're not the Warrior of the Week, the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week, it's cool too. You can go to swatfuel.com and use the promo code SOTG to save yourself some money. SWAT Fuel wants you to have a sharper body and a stronger mind right now.
Yeah, Professor Paul, you always encourage your listeners to always have in their possession something sharp, something bright, something non-lethal, and something lethal. Given the option of either or, do you prefer a fixed blade or a folding knife? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your question, Mystery Man. Make sure that when you write to info@studentofthegun.com that you include the phone number that you use to call in. All right. The fundamental four. We've been talking about this for a while, but it's always good to remind people because I know that each and every episode of Student of the Gun Radio that goes out, we have at least a few new listeners. The fundamental four items or categories that you should never leave your home without unless you're a slave. And if you're a slave, you're not allowed, and you can just pass on this. But free men will leave their house. You will always have something lethal, something sharp, something bright, and something medical. Lethal, sharp, bright, medical. That is the fundamental four. Now, when it comes to sharp, folding knives versus fixed blade knives, this kind of goes back to the convenience versus practicality or versus strength or what have you. A fixed blade knife is by nature, just by its construction, a more sturdy blade. It is more sturdy. You can pry with it, and generally they have a little bit more weight behind them. And the weight is important if you're going to use it as a defensive tool. Now, convenience is a big factor. If I said, the best knife in the world is the blankety blank fixed blade knife, and you should always have it, and it's, no exceptions. But the fixed blade knife that I recommend is 6 inches long, and it weighs 6 or 7 ounces or what have you. And you have to have a sheath and blah, 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 and what have you. You could take my advice, but as soon as it becomes hard or difficult or cumbersome to conceal that or to carry it in casual dress clothes or what have you, what will you do? You'll stop doing it. You won't carry it because it'll be difficult, or you'll be in a position where you can't carry it discreetly. So we carry folding knives. Folding knives obviously are lighter, and well, in general, a folding knife is going to be lighter than a fixed blade knife, and it is also more compact and more convenient to carry all the time. One of the things that people who espouse fixed blade knives is that you don't have to open a fixed blade knife. You just have to get it into your hand and bingo, it's already open. And that is an important thing, and I understand that. If you have a pocket knife, and I'm going to hold this one up for the camera. If you have a folding pocket knife, I don't know how well you can see that, but it should be a folding pocket knife that you can open with one hand. All right. Years and years and years ago, Spyderco basically came up with and promoted the clip knife, the folding one-hand opening clip knife. And it's a knife that has a pocket clip built into it, and it has either a hole or a stud or some type of a device that allows you to open your knife, well, with one hand. Now, there are some blades out there that have the stud just on the one side for right-handed people. That's bullcrap. You need to be able to open your knife with either hand. So for convenience sake, I would say a pocket knife is generally the way to go. Although I know there are people that say, no, I carry a fixed blade every day, all day, and you can never convince me not to. Okay, great. Fantastic. That works with your mode of dress. Fantastic. But not everybody does. I would rather that you had a sharp folding knife on you than a fixed blade that you only carry occasionally. Okay. If you can fit a fixed blade knife into your daily wear, drive on. Okay. But if you are going to carry a folding pocket knife, it should be one that you can open with either your left or your right hand. And I know some people don't like to. Some people are still slaves, and they live in areas where they're treated like slaves, and they're like, well, I can't clip that to my pocket because if I do, people will see it and they'll know I have one. And then blah, blah, blah. I feel bad for you people. Well, I feel bad for you people up to a point, because you're living there on purpose. Unless you're an indentured servant, or you actually, are a ward of the state, and you're not allowed. Most humans in the United States of America are allowed to move from state to state and city to city. If you live in a place where you're afraid to carry a pocket knife clipped in your pocket because you're afraid people will see it and will say something, or you're not allowed, dear Lord in heaven, I don't know what it's going to take to get you to fix your life, but that is my advice on the sharp part of Lethal Sharp Bright Medical, the Fundamental 4. Thank you very much, Mystery Man, for your question, and I hope everyone learned a little bit from that. All right, moving on. Zachary, you want to remind people about the dope shirt? It's totally dope. Is it totally dope?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the if you can afford dope, you can afford soap shirt is still on sale on studentgungear.com. And it's remember, it's only available this month. So if you're sleeping on it, you're thinking, I'll get it later. Don't wait too long, because it'll be gone.
It'll be gone.
Comes in white and black if you roll that way.
That's right. If you roll that way. All right. Crossbreed Holsters. They are the makers of the Super Tuck Deluxe, the Freedom Carry, the Ojai, the Bedside Backup. They've got all kinds of stuff to help you be an armed citizen all the time. And I'm wearing my G-Lock with night vision accurate sights right now underneath a t-shirt in my studio, because I live like a free American. You can go to crossbreedholsters.com to find out more. Frog Lube, it's green, it's minty fresh. It is a bio-based firearms lubricant. Larry, hands 10 and 2, watch the road. It is a U.S. veteran-owned company, and I think you should support them. And it's also extreme. So in addition to being extreme and bio-based and U.S. veteran-owned, it's available at froglube.com or brownells.com or wherever you get lubricant. Century Arms is the sweetest smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A. The Canic pistol line, The Canik pistol line will not quit. People say, well, you know, have you had any experience with this kind of ammo or that kind of ammo? The only ammo that I have not run through the Canik pistols is hand-loaded or reload ammo. I have run essentially every style and type of factory ammo through my Canik pistols. And I've got bunches of them. Like steel case, green case, gray case, aluminum case, nickel-plated, brass, jacketed hollow point, controlled expansion, full metal jacket, honey badger, everything. I've run from the really cheap practice stuff to the really expensive stuff and everything in between. And the Canik pistols won't quit. You can learn more about them and the AKs and the AK pistols and everything they have by going to centuryarms.com. All right, Duracoat. Why? Because life is too short to have an ugly gun, and it is also too short to have an ugly can. Listen up, freaks. You need to be getting on it. You need to be getting on the sexy can contest, taking pictures of your sexy can and posting them on the socialist media.
Yeah. And
the way that we know, see, the thing is, I can't monitor every one of your every one of your social media accounts. So what you need to do after you have taken a picture of your sexy ammo can, and you do whatever you want, you know, be creative.
As long as it's not vulgar.
As long as it's not vulgar, as long as we can show the pictures to our grandmother.
Yeah.
If you do that, you could win a prize. Not only are you going to end up with a really cool looking sexy can that you can brag to your friends about.
Which that's a prize on all its own.
Yeah, that's a prize all on its own. But what you can also do is, well, first prize is going to get a $100 gift certificate to Duracoat. Second, we'll get a $50 gift certificate. And third, we'll get a swag box or a swag bag or a swag package or whatever. So
from Duracoat?
From Duracoat.
And all three of those will also receive something from us.
Yeah. The shipping ogre will put something together for you guys. So get on it, freaks. We're going to do we're going to pick the winners Labor Day weekend, which is coming up not too far away.
And I was a little late to it, but I have gotten on mine.
Zach's gotten on his. Yeah. He's been posting step-by-step pictures. Of his.
First was coat 1, then it was coat 2, and then the final thing is going to be done hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow.
There you go.
Watch.
All right. Sexy Can Contest. Hashtag Sexy Can Contest. Brought to you by Duracoat. Go to Duracoat Firearm Finishes. And last but certainly not least in the hit parade of fan favorites, Brownells. All the good folks at Brownells. They've got all the stuff you need to go in, on, or around a gun. And you say, but I don't have a gun yet. So I can't put things in, on, or around it. Well, if you want to buy a gun, you can go to brownells.com and buy a gun. Check it out. Hey, Jared, remember when we were visiting with our friends at Brownells, how they said they were, and I'm holding my fingers 1 inch apart, that close to having the AR-10s ready to go?
Yep.
Guess what? You can go on right now to the BR-10, a classic AR-10 design made 100% from new parts in the United States of America by whom? By our friends at Brownells.
By Americans.
Yep. These are the Brownells retro rifles. Jump back in time to the Cold War in the era of the 60s. These are some sexy guns here.
Was it cold because global warming hadn't happened yet?
Yep, that's what it was. It was cold because there wasn't global warming yet. You are a retard. You can find out more by going to brownells.com and make sure you sign up for their newsletter so that you so that you don't miss a sale. You don't want to miss a sale, do you? I know you don't. No. All right, moving on. Let me see. Show notes say Paul is supposed to talk about well, it's time for Quiet Time, brought to you by our good friends at silencershop.com.
I spy a black pickup truck. Oh, come on. How about something a little easier? Okay. I spy Error Freeform's fast ATF processing, a 90-day money-back guarantee, and the largest inventory in the industry. I spy Powered By. That's right. With over 300 Powered By Silencer Shop retailers nationwide, there's always one close by. Is that easy enough for you? Ha! Almost too easy. Demand Powered By. Shop our industry-leading inventory at silencershop.com.
Oh, thank you to the dearly departed Bob Ross for leaving us with that music and The Joy of Painting, which you can watch on Netflix right now. There's actually 2 separate shows.
Or Twitch.
Did I show you the video
Maybe.
Which one?
of mom?
Oh, sleeping while she's listening, while she's watching Bob Ross.
I walked downstairs and the TV said, "Are you still watching?"
Oh,
I was like, "I'm gonna get a video."
no, I'm not still watching because I'm sleeping. Yeah, Nancy uses Bob Ross as a sleep aid. He just lulls her right to sleep. So today on our Silencer Shop Quiet Time, we're going to focus on reading. Once again, we're going to focus on reading. And the book that I've chosen to discuss during our quiet time is the Book of Five Rings by Issei Chosanshi. And what I want you guys to get from this, or what you should get from this, is a passage. I'm going to focus on this one specific passage from Chosanshi. And it says, "It is in men's nature to feel that they are being slandered and to dislike being told that they are wrong." Yes, indeed. And you say, well, I agree with that. I don't want anyone telling me I'm wrong. I want everyone to tell me I'm right and that everything I do and say is perfect. Okay, fantastic. That is not how we grow. That is not how we develop. That is not how we become better individuals. We don't become better individuals by holding on to our own perceptions, wrapping our arms around them, and never listening to anyone else. That is probably one of my greatest challenges in my professional life, because I'm constantly telling the emperor that he is naked. And the emperor doesn't want to know that he's naked. The emperor just wants you to tell him that he has wonderful clothes and that everything is perfect. But that's not how we improve. That is not how we improve our individual lives. It's not how we improve our companies. That is not how we improve or grow. We grow by parking our egos, working with a coach or an instructor or a teacher, and closing that hole under our nose and opening up both of our ears and taking in some constructive criticism. I am a better person today because I went through Marine Corps basic training. I can say that. I'm a better person today because I was in the United States Marine Corps. And you know what they didn't do at basic training? You know what they didn't do at infantry school or C school or demo school or any of the places that I went? They didn't first start out the day by asking everyone how their feelings were. They didn't modify or alter the instruction and the lessons based on how we felt about it. They didn't care how we felt about it, because how we felt as students or recruits or PFCs or whatever was immaterial. The training was the training. The lesson is the lesson. The lesson doesn't care about your feelings. If you alter the lesson to take into account how someone's going to feel about it, you're diluting it and you're making it worthless. I know there are a lot of people out there in the world who are great examples of this quote from Chosanshi from the Book of Five Rings. Men's nature to feel that they are being slandered and to dislike being told that they are wrong. In the modern vernacular, we could call that butthurt. People don't like it. People don't like it when I do videos or when I talk on the radio or when I write articles, that if it doesn't jive 100% with what they already believe or their feelings. And see, that's the thing, is many people, they take their feelings and they believe that their feelings equal facts. Well, I believe that this is this way and it should be this way. Well, I'm glad that you believe that, but it's completely immaterial. I don't like that. Now, what you can do as a listener of Student of the Gun Radio is you can actually do something positive and productive. I know it sounds like I'm doing the morning mindset show, but you can park your ego, close the hole underneath your nose, open up both your ears, and be prepared to be told that you're wrong. Be prepared to be told that you are not perfect. A good coach, a good instructor, a good trainer will say, yes, that wasn't exactly the way it needs to be, whether it's a lift or whether it's shooting or whether it's whatever. That wasn't exactly correct, but I'm going to show you how to do it the correct way. I'm going to show you how to do it better, how to improve. So if you close the hole under your nose and you listen and you apply yourself and you park your ego, you actually can grow and become better. But it requires effort, and it requires you to, to tell your ego, to tell the feelings monster there to just shut up and go away for a while. And sadly, many people can't do that. That is the reason that most gun owners will never attend a professional training course. Because if they attend a professional training course, they know that the course may tell them, the instructor may not agree with everything they do. They might point out something that they're doing not so well, and their egos can't handle it. Jared, do you remember the sign when you go to CSAT Training Academy up there in Nacogdoches in Texas?
Yep.
When you enter the range, what does the sign say?
It says leave ego here.
Yep. It says leave ego here, and there's an arrow pointing to the ground. So before you enter the training arena, park your ego. You leave it right there. You can pick it up on your way out. If you want to grow, if you want to progress, you want to lead a positive and productive life, every once in a while you need to do and here's the crazy thing. Book of Five Rings wasn't written last year or 5 years ago or 10. It was written hundreds of years ago. I would recommend that you pick it up. We put the direct Amazon link in the show notes. So if you're interested, go ahead to the show notes, open it up, and boom, you can buy the Book of Five Rings in case you haven't already. All right, time for me to sip Sweet Marie's coffee.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Speaking of watching, listening, reading, watching, Zachary the Shipping Ogre and I have been working on producing some more video material, some visual video material for you guys to watch. So pay close attention to our socialist media, whether it is the Instagram image or the Facebook image or YouTube even. I know YouTube is their California hippie puke bags, but we'll go ahead and continue to use the service until they go full retard on us and shut us down. So pay attention to our socialist media to see some really good information. I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. All right. We got a story here from Breitbart.com. It's a story most of you have probably heard. And if you haven't, you're probably going to be thinking, this isn't true. I actually had someone I shared this news story and someone challenged it immediately and said that it was a fake story, that it wasn't real. It wasn't fake. It's actually real. All right. The story from Breitbart.com. Dateline 16 August 2018. And it's a story by James Delingpole. Delingpole says, evil is a make-believe concept, wrote the millennial murdered by Islamic State terrorists. An idealistic millennial couple who bicycled through the wilds of Muslim Central Asia in a belief that, quote, humans are kind. And that, quote, this is a quote, people don't believe this. They're like, oh, that's not true. That's just you hardcore right-wing Republican people trying to make millennials look stupid. You know, this is an actual quote. They pulled it from this guy's blog. According to the recently murdered cyclist, he said that Evil is a make-believe concept. And he held that belief right up to the time that he was murdered by Islamic terrorists. Americans Jay Austen and Lauren Gohagen, both in their 20s, were among 4 cyclists killed last month in Tajikistan by 2 Islamic State terrorists who rammed them with their car, then stabbed and shot them to death. That sounds like evil exists to me, but you know, no, evil is just a concept that was created by the state to try and, you know, what. Now their fate is being given added poignancy, or some would say bitter irony, by the discovery of the blog written by Austen revealing a hippie-ish optimism, tragically at odds with reality. This is what the hippie wrote. The hippie wrote, "You read the papers and you're led to believe that the world is a big, scary place. Okay. People, the narrative goes, are not to be trusted. People are bad. People are evil. I don't buy it," he wrote. "Evil is a make-believe concept we've invented to deal with the complexities of fellow humans holding values, beliefs, and perspectives that are different than our own. By and large, humans are kind. Self-interested sometimes becomes myopic. Self-interested sometimes, myopic sometimes, but kind. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm trying to wrap my brain around this psycho crap. Generous and wonderful and kind." Okay.
How do you think he felt about Hitler?
I don't know. How do you think he felt during the last 5 seconds of his life as he was being run over and then shot and stabbed to death by Islamic jihadists?
That as well.
This might seem unfair. This back to the story here. This might seem unfair. Cycling through Tajikistan isn't like, say, Syria or Iraq. Indeed, there are at the time, the U.S. travel advisory was a level 1. Also, it smacks as ungraciousness and schadenfreude. If you don't know what that means, Google it. Look it up. And, of course, we know the way liberals think is wrong and stupid, but surely we're not so harsh as to believe that their punishment for their mental illness should be death. Okay. And you don't have to just use the Breitbart story. You can use one of it's on Fox, it's on USA, on American Pravda, it's on CNN, it's all over the place, because of the tragic irony of the bicycling for peace. Some people said that their mission was to bicycle across the world to demonstrate that people are good and kind, and that evil is, quote, a make-believe concept. All right.
Actually, I can believe it's just really surprising to me that humans are that far out of touch with reality. And I think that goes, it says a lot about the living conditions of the United States and how comfortable we are here.
Yes, and liberalism is a mental disease. We've talked about this before, but and many people who want to seem reasonable and who want to get along with everyone, when you say liberalism is a mental disease, are like, "Oh, that's what you crazy right-wing conservative, whatever. That's what you say." But no, if you examine liberalism for what it is, it literally is a mental disease. Because what they do, and this is why liberalism is so dangerous, liberalism excuses evil as an alternate lifestyle or an unconventional lifestyle. What did we just see in New Mexico? A liberal Democrat female judge let 5 terrorists, Islamic terrorists, who I cannot believe that they don't have felony child abuse charges against them. And that would, Jared, help me out here. Why do we always need new laws and greater government restrictions for the
safety of the children and
for the children, right? every time the liberals, every time Democrats want to restrict our constitutional liberties, every time they want a new tax, every time they want to take more of our money, what's the excuse? It's for the children, right? Everything's for the children. You know, think of the children. You know, if banning AR-15s will save the life of just one child, then it's worth it. We should ban all AR-15s. So here we have 5 Islamic psychopaths, jihadists, who obviously, I mean, we've got court documents, we have papers, who are abusing and neglecting children, right? And
didn't they find a dead one too?
Oh yeah, they killed one of them.
Yeah, I saw there's a.
They killed one of them, and they starved, and the rest of them were living in filth and squalor. I thought liberals were all about protecting the children. So we have 5 terrorists, 5 Islamic radicals who, I mean, forget all the other stuff. Forget the fact that they were training them to commit school shootings. Forget the fact that they committed murder against, they murdered one of them in a religious actually a cult ritual. It's not a religion, it's a cult. Forget about all that. Shouldn't the fact that they abused all these children have been enough for this judge to keep them locked up? Nope. Because liberalism is a mental disease. What did the judge say? She referred to Muslim terrorists as people who live an unconventional lifestyle. What kind of psycho crap is that? An unconventional lifestyle. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why liberalism is a mental disease. Because liberalism excuses evil as alternate lifestyle or unconventional. See, when you're a liberal, you can't say someone is evil, someone is bad, unless, of course, they're a Christian conservative white person. Then they're evil and they're bad. But those in the mind of a liberal, those are the only people that are bad. You know, these dead hippies over there in Tajikistan, part of the reason that they're dead is because their parents failed them. They're like, that's not right. That's not fair. Yes, part of the reason that they're dead is because their parents failed them. Their parents did not teach them about good and evil. They didn't teach them to be good while at the same time recognizing that on planet Earth, there is real evil. See, that because that's wrong. We can't say that people who live differently than us, we can't say that that's bad or evil. Just because they want to destroy our country and our way of life, they want to blow up our children in our schools and gun them down. They want to subjugate women. The same religion of peace that hurls gay people off the roofs of buildings. And, you know, in Saudi Arabia, they actually crucify homosexuals and heretics. Did you know that? Crucifixion is saved for the most horrible of crimes, and that is heresy against Islam and being a homosexual. So we've got these left-wing people who make excuses for the very death cult that wants to kill and destroy them. Why? Because liberalism is a very, very dangerous mental disease. Parents, teach your children evil is real. Failing to recognize evil does not make it go away. Pretending that it doesn't, that's like pretending cancer doesn't exist. You know, if we just pretend it doesn't exist, it'll go away and it won't be there anymore. No, it still will. Gravity still exists and evil still exists. Teach your children that evil is real and teach them to deal with it. All right, you got a question for me before we wrap up, Jared?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, you know how we've been doing the word of the week thing, the leadership trait of the week with the team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want, since this is a Monday show, do you want to share that with the audience and bring them along with us, or is that you want to keep that more of a private thing?
Well, we've done a lot of focus on the United States Marine Corps leadership traits because this country is starving for leadership. Matter of fact, Zachary went so far as he created a poster. He created a United States Marine Corps leadership poster, and he put it on the store so you guys can actually get it. It's a very high quality item. You can hang it on your wall and see it every day. The leadership traits we detailed specifically in the Patriot Fire Team Manual in the chapter on leadership. And what I think, Jared, is I think we should talk about it more during the bonus hours when we have some actual private time or some educational time with our grad program members. So
okay. Yeah, we can do that on do you want to do it on Thursdays?
Yeah, let's do it on Thursdays. That'd be good.
I'll put that in the notes right now so we don't forget.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us right up to the close of Student of the Gun Radio for today. But fear not, we will be back on Wednesday. If you'd like a daily dose of motivation and positivity, you can listen to the Morning Mindset podcast with Paul Markle on basically the same thing you're listening to this with, unless it's iHeartRadio. But if you're using iTunes or Podcast Republic or whatever, go for it. All right, that's it. That's all I have to say. Boys.
I will say, yes, evil is real, but you know what's not evil? These hedgehogs with big ears.
Hedgehogs.
With big ears.
With big ears, with big floppy ears. Well, there you go. That's your thought for the day. All right, remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
All right. Anything else before we take a break? I'm gonna
Negative.
Okay. I'm going to disconnect from the video.
All right.